Good morning, guys. How's everyone doing? Welcome to another week. Fix my thing here. It's all broken. There we go. Good morning from California. What's going on? Taught me how to catch my own fish. That's the most important, man. You got to learn how to do it yourself. So well done. Let's go ahead and get started. So right now you guys are seeing NASDAQ starting to slip, S&P slipping. A little bit of a quick extended move under Friday's lows. So we're still rejecting some major levels. The VIX is pushing higher, and we're going to look at a lot today. There's some very clear levels that we need to watch today again, which makes it, I don't want to say easy, but it makes it structured, right? So we get to see our levels. We get to see, what levels we need to break above. If we break above, maybe there's some upside. If we stay below, then it's pretty clear downside right now, guys. Downtrend still is very strong. Market's still weak. We have Fed meeting on Wednesday, which is probably gonna continue to have people a little bit worried, a little bit indecisive, a little bit panicked. So I don't expect, tough to expect, some major upside before that Fed meeting. That's sort of that thing that's lingering across everyone's mind is Wednesday. So let's see what happens. Let's go over the levels. Let's get ourselves ready for today. And that's really all we can do, right? So first of all, again, thank you for being here. Welcome. If it's your first time here, we do this every single day starting at 8 a.m. So come hang out every day, 8 a.m. All right. So today is the 2nd of May. Happy May. I posted my April P&L on Instagram. If you're interested, You guys can go there. Bottom left of your screen, you'll see options_insider. I post my P&Ls there every month if you're interested. What else? Please be careful of scammers. I will never message you for Bitcoin. I will never message you about how your day is or how have you been trading Bitcoin lately. Have you heard about this new cryptocurrency? I will never send you something like that. So I really hope everyone understands that there are a ton of scammers on Instagram. So please be careful. And it's not just from me. It's every other trading person that you probably know. There probably is a fake Instagram about them. So be careful. Let's get started. Futures, as always, economic earnings calendar. That's going to be big today. Economic calendar is going to be big this week. Earnings calendar is also loaded once again. So we'll look at those. Amazon. Ugly day on Amazon. Basically gave away free money on Friday. Insane. Basically free money on Amazon. Congrats if anyone caught any of that downside. Let's go ahead and look at it because there is not much support below on Amazon, guys. There really isn't. It's a little bit of a scary chart, I have to be honest. So let's watch out for Amazon. Facebook earnings rejection. I like Facebook for the downside after a really clean rejection after earnings. I want to show you guys these levels. Tesla, really defined channel that it's trading in, and I think it's probably breaking it. It's just at the lower band of it right now at around 850. So this could be another downside day for Tesla if the market moves lower. So let's watch that. Activision. So I don't know if you guys saw, but Berkshire Hathaway talked about their play on Activision, their merger arbitrage, which is basically they're saying that they're buying Activision at a lower price than what the merger is pricing them at between them and Microsoft, which I believe is $92 a share. So what they're doing is they're loading up on Activision shares to play an arbitrage. So I think that's actually an interesting play by them. If they're thinking about it, then they probably, I'm going to bet that they know that the deal is going to go through. I don't think that they would be unloading that much of capital if they didn't know something. So I'm definitely, I don't know if I want to follow them on this, but I would buy a few shares to play that merger arbitrage with them. So interesting. I want to show you guys what I'm talking about there. I thought that was a pretty key takeaway from their meeting that they had this weekend. Roku, clean rejection. I played it Friday. I lost on it because I took a 0 DTE contract, which I should not have. I'm sure many of you guys are aware of that. But the play that I had in mind worked out perfectly, and I think it can continue. NVIDIA, major level at 180. Costco, major support that it's sitting at right now. And then the XLP. The XLP broke down last week under the previous all-time highs, and this could bring some more downside. I want to show you that as well. After we do all that, we'll go over my trades that I took on Friday, and then we will also go over the stocks that you guys want to look at in the Google Docs. So that's the schedule today. Let's go ahead and pull up the economic calendar first and look at that. What? That's why you're here. Let's do it, right? Isn't that why you're here? What stocks to look at today? So let me get through it. I have, you got to give me some time to get through that information. I can't just do it. Can't, be patient. All right. So today is May 2nd, Monday. We got manufacturing PMI, some manufacturing news this morning. Nothing that's going to be too huge. I don't think much is going to move the market besides Wednesday. So I'm not too concerned about anything before Wednesday, but let's keep an eye on that. Manufacturing PMI, job openings, job quits. So we'll see some information on on jobs, which should be interesting tomorrow. And then Wednesday is the big one. You got ADP employment, and then you got this right here, right? FOMC statement, Fed Chair Jerome Powell news conference. So if you guys want to know what the market is pricing in for, my damn mic is giving me some major problems this morning. If you want to know what the Fed funds rate is priced at, you can go to the /ZQ, and you can go to it for May. There's different months, right? So you can see what they price it out in the future. So you can see you have, December, August, October, September. You can't see this, but every single month. So if you go to the Fed funds rate /ZQ for May, It is right now, it's at 99.21, right? So 99.21, what you do is you do 100 and you subtract the current price of the ZQ, which brings you to around 0.79, let's just call it 0.75. That is what the market is pricing in as the Fed funds rate for May, which means if we are currently at a quarter, 0.25, the market is pricing in just about a 0.5 increase on Wednesday, which is a double rate hike. So I believe the market as of right now is pricing in a double rate hike by looking at this. If we get a double rate hike, I wouldn't expect major reaction to it. If we get less than a double rate hike, maybe there's some, I'm really not sure how the market reacts to a less than double rate hike, because yes, it's a smaller interest rate hike, but on the flip side, it's not good for the market, right? It's not good for the economy. Market and economy are different. If we do a single rate hike, 0.25, there might be some positivity, but there's also some negativity because we need to do rate hikes, right? So it's not going to help inflation if we don't do a double rate hike. So I'm not sure which way the market goes if you get a 0.25. There probably may be some short-term upside, which eventually fades. If we do a 0.75, a triple rate hike, then I think that's where you probably see some more downside because the market has to price that in. And it's not pricing that in. It's pricing in just about a 0.5 double rate hike. So real quick, just a little education there. That is what I would be... that is what I think the market is trying to price in right now. Okay, let me get back to this. Thursday, jobless claims, normal stuff, non-farm payrolls, normal stuff, normal Friday stuff, normal Thursday stuff. So the big one obviously is this on Wednesday, guys. FOMC, Fed Chair Jerome Powell. That's where we're going to get our Fed funds rate increase. And that is where I'm assuming you're going to see a double rate hike. Okay? Next, we have the earnings calendar. Here we go. Let's get that bigger for everyone. All right, so we have a packed earnings calendar once again. Less important names, but still names nonetheless, right? So not much today after close. You got Avis Budget, MGM Resorts. That should be interesting. Chegg, piece of crap stock, honestly. Is that Expedia? This might be Expedia, so this might be interesting for travel. Today looks pretty good for travel. So you got Avis Budget, you got Expedia, and you got MGM Resorts. That should give us some insight on travel, some leisure stuff. So that's interesting. Pfizer, BP, Marathon, some stuff for oil right here. BP and Marathon. Biogen, healthcare. AMD, Airbnb, Starbucks, Lyft. Those are some big ones there, right? So this is a big day tomorrow after hours. AMD, Airbnb, Starbucks. Moderna, CVS. Marriott, more travel. Marathon Oil. That's interesting. Those are different companies. I was not aware of that. You got Marathon and you got Marathon Oil. I guess they're two different companies that I'm not aware of. Uber, Etsy, Twilio. You got another Marathon company here. A lot of companies named Marathon, I guess, this week. So Marathon, and Marathon. So good luck with those three Marathon companies. I have no interest, but I have no idea the difference between these I mean, this doesn't look like it's an oil name that I've seen before, but yeah. Uber, Etsy, Twilio, Shopify, Crocs, that's Penn National. That's interesting. Datadog, traditionally a pretty good performing stock. Royal Caribbean, Wayfair, Nikola. Nikola is still a publicly traded company, huh? And then we got Square, which is now called Block for whatever reason. Fubo, Lucid, Cloudflare, Wish, everyone's favorite penny stock. Is that Virgin Galactic? Yeah, Virgin Galactic right here. Thursday after close, DoorDash, DraftKings, and that's about it, guys. So you got some questionable names this week, some really names that have gotten really killed recently. So some interesting names here. I mean, I'm interested mostly in the big ones like AMD. What does Airbnb say? I'm interested in, okay, so like I'm more interested in the whole sector as itself. So it looks like we got a lot of leisure this week, a little bit of tech, and then some healthcare. So let's go ahead and make sure we're aware of those. Make sure to screenshot this. Make sure to know when the earnings are coming up. Don't play something through earnings if you don't want to. And that is that. So let's go ahead and start with the futures. All right, guys. I continue to like to watch the futures on the hourly chart. I think this is the best place to be looking at the futures contracts. I think this is the cleanest way to chart this out. So, guys, looking at this chart, I don't want to delete these lines, but they're really not relevant at this time. But I'm just going to keep them there. So, what you guys can see is that we made a fantastically beautiful Juan. Thank you, man. Thank you so much for the $10. I will put it to good use. I appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Look at this bear flag, guys. Really clean stuff. And if you were part of the Discord chat, you know that we were all over this, right? So if I go to the Friday morning, not yesterday. I keep on saying yesterday. If I go to Friday morning, guys, this is what the ES was doing, right? See this? I mean, this is the cleanest bear flag. This is what I posted in the morning on Friday, saying, watch out for this bear flag. If we break this bear flag, we are going to move to 4160, right? So you can see it right here. If we cannot break above 4250, I would expect downside bear flag here as well. If we break that, I would expect downside to 4160. That is my exact words on 9:10 a.m. I did not edit this. This is exactly how it went Friday morning. If we go to the ES, we can see the bear flag was a thing of beauty. Beautiful bear flag on both the ES and the NASDAQ. So that was clean, right? And that just really just showed itself Friday morning. So we got that bear flag breakdown, right? Very clear. Thank you, Brad. Appreciate you, man. Very clear. Bear flag breakdown. Rejection of 13,350. Previous support into resistance. Couldn't be clear, right? Bear flag breakdown. Now, today, we are rejecting right around this previous support of 13,000. And we are turning it into resistance. So, today, guys, this is the range that you should be focused on. F1's next week, Rafael. So this range is what you should be focused on, between 13,000 and 12,800. If we do not, it's very easy, guys. It's so easy. Just think about this. If we do not break above 13,000, you should not look for a single call option. If we do not see 13,000 break, you should not look for upside, because there's just no reason. There's no reason to try to chase upside in a weak market. This upside right here is just not worth your time. It's a small margin upside. It's a weak upside. Until you see an actual break and retest of 13,000, I would not want to play anything to the upside. I'd rather look for the rejections. I'd rather play what the market is trending, what the market is doing. So if I see any upside, I'm going to be looking for rejections. If I see a rejection come at 13,000, I think that's a gift, right? I think if you see a rejection at 13,000 today, I think that's a gift for more downside. So I'm looking at 13K. That is going to be my, if you could think about like a seesaw, the middle of the seesaw for me is 13,000 today. If I see us get to the middle of the seesaw, I need to see which way the market wants to go off that level. If I see a strong break and a retest and we start to consolidate above, then maybe there's a little bit of, maybe there's some opportunity for upside here, right? Possible. Absolutely possible. However, I would tell you that the market trend is clearly down, and I think you have a little bit of a higher chance of seeing something like this, right? I think that's a little bit of a higher chance of seeing something like that. So 13,000 should be on your charts, no questions about it. If we go to the shorter term time frames, we can see we had a previous low here, right? And we had a previous low here. Now this level was 12,800, 12,800. If I go to the 5-minute chart, what you guys are going to see, if this thing would work, what you guys are going to see is that we rejected 13, right? Very clear. Previous support into resistance this morning. That is not bullish. That is very bearish. So you should not try to make up a bullish case here. You are turning previous support into resistance already this morning. Until you see this, you should not be making up some type of bullish scenario because it's just not there, guys. So please just make sure you understand what's going on in this market. You're making lower lows and lower highs consistently. You're doing it again this morning. So previous support into resistance, you're breaking down, right? 12.8, previous support, you broke it this morning. You cracked through 12.8. I could definitely make a case for this being a little bit of a false breakout, maybe a little bit of a morning bear trap. That is definitely something that I'm, very cautious of. I'm not going to just chase downside here out of the gates. This could absolutely be a little bit of a bear trap this morning. So if I'm shorting, my key area to play downside, to play a rejection, is right here, guys. This is where I want to play downside, right? I want to be the one that plays downside off this level. I do not want to play downside right here. Where's your risk to reward here, right? Your risk would have to be up to 13,000. Not interested in that. So I'm looking for a fake push into 13. That would be great. And a rejection off that level. If we see a little bit of a morning bear trap and we get some morning upside, that is what I'll be watching up here at 13. Let's see what happens around here. This is hard to tell what's going to happen, right? Because we're sitting right at this support. I'll clean this up just a little bit. If we cannot, look at what we're doing right now, guys. Look at what we're doing as of right now in the pre-market. This is Friday. This is today. Where is the market rejecting real time as we speak? Look at this. Tell me that's not perfect. Right? It's very clear. It is extremely clear. It's previous support from Friday, and it is literally perfectly rejecting it right now as we speak. So if we, in the very short term, if we can't even get over 12.8 this morning, then that is very weak. If we reject Friday's lows, which we are right now, that is even weaker than the rejection at 13. Look. Why are we rejecting right here? Why is the market stopping at 12.8? I'll tell you right now. It's right there. Right? Extremely clear. So, if 12.8 rejects, you get this. If you break over 12.8, maybe you have some room up to 13K, which is still not very bullish because you could easily reject off this 13K as well. Right? So, those are your things to watch today, guys. 12.8, 13,000. You look for either the rejection of 12.8 or you look for the push into 13 and you look for the rejection there. If we reject 12.8 this morning, you are not going to have a very nice day. I'll tell you that right now. So, that's the NASDAQ. It's pretty clear, guys. I mean, the levels just continue to make a whole lot of sense. And it really is nice because it really can structure your day. It just structures, it really structures what you should be looking at. Okay, here's the ES. And the ES is pretty, the ES is actually nastier than the NASDAQ right now. The ES broke, if I go to the daily chart, actually, you know what? I'm going to go 4 hour. The ES broke. One second. I'm just going to get this ready for you. The ES broke these lows from back in March, right? So you're below those lows. Now, if I go to the hourly chart, this is extremely clear once again, right? Where is the S&P 500 rejecting this morning? Where is the S&P 500 turning price action into resistance? It is right at the previous lows of last week. Look at how clean that is. So, very easy, guys. If the S&P 500 cannot get over 4160, you are not looking for upside. If it can get over 4160 and turn it into support, you may be able to see a little bit of a push back into 4250. That's possible, right? That is definitely possible. If you can see a break of 4160, maybe you have some upside up until 4250. That is very possible. Right here. Why do I think that's possible? It's because of how quickly we dropped. If we drop this quick, right? You see how quickly we dropped on Friday? If we drop that quick, there is possibility that we push up that quick. You know, it's a equal reaction on both sides. If we can get above 4160. If we cannot get above 4160, if we see something like this and we reject again, then you guys know what's going to happen, right? You clearly know what's going to happen. If we reject 4160 again, we are going to move lower, all right? No question about it. Now, if we go to the 5-minute chart, what I want to show you right now is what's going on in the very short time frame, which is the same as the NASDAQ. You guys can see that we are attempting to reject Friday's lows right here, right? We're attempting to reject Friday's lows. Support, support, support. You broke below it. You're coming back into it. If you see something like this, guys, what is this telling you? Right? This is what the market's doing right now. Down. Back up. What is that? That's a break and retest. Right? That's a break and retest of previous support. So, ES has to get above first 4120. If you do, maybe 4160. But if you get into 4160, I would be please don't be the person buying call options at 4160 supply. That is just totally irrational. Do not be the person chasing upside. If you get some type of spike here today, do not buy call options as you push into a major supply level. This is not your highest risk to reward play, buying calls right here. So 4120, 4160, rejections to the upside. On the NASDAQ, you got 12.8 and 13,000. 12.8, 13,000. All right. Hopefully that helps. Really does make it quite easy if you just focus on the levels. Dow Jones is continuing to try to hold this 33,000 level. Challenge accepted. Maybe it works. You know, you can never say never in the stock market. So, you know, maybe buying calls there, maybe it works. But yeah, it just I would expect that to not be your best risk reward. The Dow is trying to hold this 3280, 33,000 level. That's really what you need to be watching right here. If the Dow breaks down this level right here, you guys can clearly tell what's going to happen, right? If the Dow does something like this, then we know downside is coming, right? If we get a break and retest to the downside, so I would just watch these lows from Friday. These are Friday's lows. I would watch those Friday's lows. That is where the Dow is trying to hold, 32.8. Russell, the Russell is below 1900. If I go to the hourly chart, you guys are going to see, look how perfect this is. Look how perfect the Russell broke down right here. And look at where it's turning price into resistance here. Where is the Russell rejecting this morning? Support, support, support. What a little slip. Where is it rejecting right now? Right there, guys. Break and retest to the downside. That is a bullish formation. This right here is bearish. Sorry, not bullish. This is a bearish formation. Break, retest, rejection. Break, retest, rejection. Exactly what the Russell's doing. That is a bearish technical formation. If you're turning previous support into resistance, there is nothing bullish about that. All right. So that is the futures, guys. I hope this helps. Today, I would be watching 12.8 and 13,000. I don't think you need to look at many other levels. I don't think there's a chance that the NASDAQ gets above this 13,000 today. If there is, we're moving off some kind of news or there's some kind of something going on. This wouldn't be there's got to be some kind of catalyst. If you actually see a move over 13,000, there must be a catalyst in the market, which I can't foresee right now. So 13,000, big time rejection point, and 12.8, another early rejection point. So market up or down, that's a question that should not be asked. You cannot trade like that. Watch the market, watch the levels I just provided to you, and you have to decide that. This is a clear as day rejection that's coming in right now. Look at this. That's another bear flag that's forming. This is another early morning bear flag that's forming right now. Where is it forming? Right there at previous Friday's lows. So if we don't get over 12.8, downside, major downside. If we get over 12.8, maybe you got to move to 13K. All right. If you missed any of that, you have to go back in the live stream. I can't go over it again. Amazon. I want to show you something a little bit concerning on Amazon. It's a little scary. I'm not gonna lie. So let me get more time here. This is Amazon on the weekly chart, guys. And I just do not see a reason that Amazon holds up until $2,000. It's tough for me to... I don't see a reason for that. I mean, I think Amazon is moving down to 2,000. There is nothing here that makes me believe that Amazon is going to find support anywhere before these previous highs. High, 2,040, 2,050. I just do not see a reason that it would hold in any of this straight up price action. So you guys can see, if we look to the left, this was a straight up move on Amazon after earnings. So boom, straight up. You're coming back into it. I don't know why Amazon would hold in any of this structure, right? So the only point that I could maybe see a hold is right here, guys. This is the only spot that I could maybe see a hold come in, is right at these previous highs in this area. This little congestion area right here. Right there. That's the only place I could see maybe some type of short-term hold in this congestion. So this is 2450 to 2300. It's about a 150-point range that maybe Amazon finds a little bit in. But ultimately, if you break that, I mean, I don't think you're far off from 2050. Yeah, the volume profile. That's exactly why. So I've showed this volume profile before, guys, and I'll show you exactly why the volume profile looks like it is. This right here is not, you have to understand this, guys, right? This price action right here, that is not strong price action. This straight up move is not strong not strong support, right? When you see a stock go straight up, there is not a lot of consolidation. There's not a lot of consumption of the shares. You don't have support in this area. So it's almost like a gap. You have to think about it almost as a gap fill. It's not a gap fill, but it almost is as weak as a gap fill. And I'll show you why. And the volume profile will show you that exact thing. So if I go to the volume profile here, and I go to the weekly chart, and I zoom out. Let me get a little bit more time. Let me get 5 years. I mean, look at this. I mean, this just shows you exactly what I'm talking about. Look at this huge void in volume. I mean, you can see it right here, right? I mean, it's just a massive void in volume. And that massive void in volume shows you that there is weakness. And that little area where I talked to you about maybe it holding up in the little consolidation phase is right here. You see this little pop in volume? Right around this level here? This little pop in volume is maybe where it can hold, right? 2450 to 2300, 2200. So that's the maybe area that I'm watching. But ultimately, I think it needs to come down to this shelf here around 2000. So I would watch Amazon if you have it like that. You know, if you're someone that can trade Amazon and not blow up your account, which I would not trade Amazon if you have anything less than 10 grand in your account. Then yeah, this is definitely something I would be watching, guys. This could be some really nice downside if the Nasdaq stays weak, of course. All right, daily chart on on Facebook? Facebook, what am I looking at on Facebook? I'm looking at downside as well if the market is weak. Why is that? I'll show you right now. So right here, guys, you can see this is a previous resistance on Facebook. You have a previous support here. And what did Facebook do perfectly after earnings? It perfectly rejected this 212 area, previous resistance into support. And look at the wicks. Just look at the wicks that came in here at 212. Look at these major bearish wicks. Every time you hit 212, you got really quickly beaten down. So what I'm looking for is maybe a play back towards the right back towards this 185 level. That's sort of what I'm watching today. If Facebook is weak, if the NASDAQ is weak, I am looking to see if I can play Facebook off this earnings rejection at 212. Really easy stop loss if I see it above 212. Very easy. But I could definitely see where we could start to reject. If I go to the daily chart, you guys can see this even cleaner. Look at that rejection that came in. Look at that rejection candle on Facebook. So you could definitely see a little bit of a gap fill, maybe back towards 185, 180. Oh, why are you here then, Romeo? Go find Juliet, buddy. So Facebook, really nice rejection, 212. You guys see that clear level and the clear rejection candle that's coming in. So I would watch out for that rejection at 212. That's what I would look for, 212 rejection. All right, Tesla. So Tesla is in a very clear, defined channel here. Yeah, this is Thinkorswim. So clear channel here on Tesla. You can see we have a rejection around 915 and a support around 850. So that is your channel that you are trading in on Tesla. So 30-minute chart. You guys can see it right here. 30-minute chart. Very clear channel. So if we break below this 850, which we did on Thursday, you can see the reaction to it. I would look for downside, right? If we break 850 and we do something like this where we come down and turn it into resistance, I would look for downside below 850. If we see Tesla continue to trade in this range, then I would be a little bit cautious because this is just sort of range trading, which is difficult on Tesla. Tesla can really screw you up in a range. It can really chop you up. It's really not the best to trade Tesla in a range. I'm sure some people can find success in it, but it makes it definitely a little bit more difficult as you trade in a channel. So if I see a break of 850 and a retest, I would be looking for a downside move. If I see something strong above 915, then maybe you have the upside channel. So I want to see what Tesla does outside of this channel. The last time Tesla traded in a channel, it made a massive move for us, right? So here was the last channel. There's your word again, massive. That's just for you, Romeo. So you can see that the last time we traded in this channel, we made a very big move to the downside. And you can see right here, we broke below the channel lows and we made a very large move. So what happens when we trade around this channel? You guys can see that right here. This is the next channel. So do we break this channel low of 850 or do we continue to sort of trade in here? That's what I want to watch today. Monday is always the first day of the week, right? So we have to see what the market wants to do. But I am definitely watching Tesla between 850 and 915, and I would be watching this area for either the breakdown or the breakout above 915. So that's big. That's Tesla. That's definitely a watch for me today in that channel. Activision. So Activision has a little bit of a pop this morning. This is not a stock that I would recommend anyone to trade. It's a very crappy price action stock. It basically does nothing. This is not a trade recommendation or an options recommendation. You can see that the candles are just terrible for options. The only reason I bring this up today is because Berkshire Hathaway said that they're buying a lot of shares of this to play merger arbitrage. And because the Microsoft deal is valued at $92 a share. If I go to the daily chart, the merger, the acquisition, I think is valued at 92, which is up here, right? So as of right now, you are trading at a discount versus the merger. And so what Berkshire Hathaway is doing is they're buying shares, hoping that the deal goes through, which will automatically value their shares at $92. It's called arbitrage. It's when there's arbitrage is basically, to easily define it, I'm sure a lot of you guys already know, but it's like taking advantage of a mispriced opportunity, a price that's not correct. So this could be considered arbitrage because the deal is valued at 92, but the current market price is 75. So if the deal goes through, you should see 92. If it doesn't go through, then this probably moves lower. So just wanted to bring that up. I thought that was interesting by Warren Buffett and the Berkshire Hathaway people. I think that is a pretty interesting play that they have on their hands. That they think that, is it 95? Okay, so it's even higher. It's 95. So if the deal goes through, you would buy shares here at 75, and whenever it goes through, they would automatically shoot to 95. So that's just a bet on if it goes through, right? That's all they're doing. That's all they're really doing, is they're just betting that the deal goes through. So interesting. Wanted to bring it up. I thought it's a pretty cool little play that they're doing. I found interest in it and wanted to share. Okay. Roku. So hourly chart on Roku. Yeah, it's the same on Twitter, correct. It's basically the same on Twitter. It's the same exact thing, right? If the deal goes through, you have merger arbitrage on that. So, Roku. What did Roku do on earnings, right? We got the big push on earnings. We got a push right into $99,100. And where did it start to reject? You guys can see right here, right? Perfect rejection at $99,100. This was a previous, that's sort of what I'm thinking, Nick. It's a risky bet, but if Berkshire Hathaway is doing it, I feel like they know something, right? I don't think Berkshire would be putting billions of dollars into a play like that if they know something. So that's why it's interesting to me. Like, do I sort of want to follow them there? Probably. I mean, it's probably worth a few, maybe $1,000. Buy like, I don't know, buy 10 shares, buy 20 shares, and just see if it works out. I don't know. Just a thought, just an idea. But I'm assuming if they're going to be putting that much money into a play like that they must know something. So resistance on Roku, right? And what did it do on earnings? It pushed right back into that resistance again, and it went ahead and rejected. Right, making a bet that it closes, right? So rejection again, you guys can clearly see that. I am definitely looking to play Roku to the downside today. If I go to the 20-minute chart, 20-day, 15-minute, you guys can see right here, right? I want to see if I can play this rejection back to 85 today. I tried to play it on Friday, and I just took the wrong contracts. I got in at a perfect time, but my 0DT contracts just did not have enough time on them to increase in value. I should have taken this week's, but I didn't want to risk that much money on the play. It was sort of just a little end of day slip kind of play. I put about $60 in it, so didn't work, unfortunately. But I really liked the opportunity for Roku back to this 85. If we cannot get back above this 99,100 level, which is very clear, I would like to see this slip back towards 85. This is a play that I am watching today. If the NASDAQ is weak, I want to see if I can play Roku back to the downside after a very clear rejection after earnings. Okay, NVIDIA, you have a huge level on NVIDIA at 180, guys. Really, really big. This is an important level. If we don't hold this level, this is a little bit concerning to me, to be honest. So let me go ahead and zoom out. Let me get some more time here so we can see it right here, guys. This is a very, very massive level for NVIDIA, right? You have a previous support and a previous potential support, or another potential support right here. If we do not break, or if we do not hold this 180, I think you're going to come down pretty quickly. You really don't have much support until 160 here. So you got 180 and you got 160. There is no support in this area between 180 and 160. It would be a very quick downside move if you break 180 and you actually hold below it. So this is a little concerning to me. You're not even getting back to the previous highs, which is where I'd like to play the short, right? I would rather play the short here. I'd rather play the rejection of previous support. Support, push higher, reject off 210, and then play it to the downside. But it's not even getting, I don't even know if I have hope that it gets even back to 210 here. So I would rather wait for the hold of or the rejection of 210. But I am also interested to see what does it do if it breaks below 180 today. What does it do here if we get a clean break below 180? What does NVIDIA do here? So if I see something like this, then I would be interested, right? If I see something like this, then I would be interested. A previous low, a rejection of it, right? And then I think you have the room to 160. So watching NVIDIA closely today, as always, looking to see what it does under 180. If I see NVIDIA under 180, if I see it turn into resistance, then I would be looking for the downside, right? That's what I'd look for. And you can see just even last week, look at how clean this rejection was. So it's really quite weak, guys. You can see previous highs into a double top rejection. That's just really not something you like to see. So rejection. If you break under 180, if you turn it into resistance, you have that room to 160 for sure. So watch NVIDIA, guys. This could be a nice play, a nice little scalp put option play if we get that downside on the NASDAQ today. Okay, Costco. So Costco, a stock that I do like and a stock that I am bullish long term, but obviously it's had a little bit of a pullback. It's had a monster year, right? I mean, we can't take much away from Costco here. This is what it is on the weekly chart. So Costco is it's been a great outperforming name, but it's starting to show its cracks a little bit, I think, and that is because, most importantly, it's because of this right here. The XLP has broken back below those previous all-time highs, and that is the level that we did not want to see XLP get below. I believe that this will cause more selling. I think this break of previous all-time highs will cause more selling on XLP, maybe back down towards this 76 level. And if that continues to sell off, then you are going to see rejections on stocks like Walmart. You can see Walmart is coming back down to that previous all-time high. Does it hold there? Walmart has had a ridiculous move in the short term. Is there a play to the downside here? Possibly. Procter & Gamble, pretty nice rejection of all-time highs, right? You have Pepsi, which rejected that all-time high attempt. Really nasty rejection there. Coca-Cola, another sort of rejection up here. So I am a little bit cautious. If I've been following this XLP trade for a while, I'm not saying that it's cracking yet, but this could be the start of a little bit of a crack here on the defensive plays. This XLP breakdown. So, it could definitely still bounce, maybe off the 50, off the 100, right? You still have the 50 and 100 SMA down here, which probably will support it. So there probably is still a little bit of a push potential, but this is definitely showing some signs, right? It's starting to show us some weakness. And if that continues, then I would watch stocks like Costco. I would watch stocks like Walmart, like Procter & Gamble, like Pepsi, like Coca-Cola for downside, right? If the XLP starts to break down here, right? So that's what I'd be cautious of. The XLP moves, guys. I know it's been really good lately, but it looks like it's starting to weaken a little bit. Got Costco at a big level here at 530. If this does not hold, maybe down to the 500s. Walmart, if you break down this 152, I could definitely see it give back some of this just straight up move. It's totally possible. Walmart is not a stock that typically holds these straight up moves. So is Walmart a put play here under 152 and a move back into the 146s? Totally possible here, right? That is totally a possible play. So definitely watching these moves today on the XLP. Do I look at the VIX? Yeah, I monitor the VIX. I definitely do. I'm not like a VIX, I don't watch it all day, every day, but I definitely am aware of where the VIX is trading, right? VIX is definitely elevated. You're up towards the 30s, above 30, 34. It's high. It usually reverts in this area. So it's something you got to consider, right? If the VIX reverts off maybe the 37s, we could see some upside. It's possible. This is probably going to continue to creep higher until Wednesday, guys. I would assume the VIX creeps higher until Wednesday. Yeah, when was the last Fed meeting? Was March 16th. So that's when the VIX, right? So the last Fed meeting, right, we came up, the VIX was elevated into the Fed meeting, and then we dropped. So this time we got the VIX elevating into the Fed meeting. Do we drop? That would be the normal thing to see, right? That would be the common thing to see, would be to see the VIX come back down, mean revert back towards the 20s. That's what we'll have to keep an eye out for, right? That's what we'll have to keep an eye out for. But I focus more on the levels on the NASDAQ. I let the levels decide that, and then, just sort of use the VIX as a way to sort of understand, how the market is currently, what's the feel on the market. The VIX is definitely elevated, probably elevates into the Fed meeting, and then we'll see if it reverts then. So that's the VIX. Let's go ahead and look at... Let's go ahead and go over, I'll put Microsoft in there for you. So 1 second. I'm going to pull up my trades from Friday, and then we'll go over the stocks that you guys want to look at, and then we will get on out of here. So, all right, guys. So here are, let me get this pulled up, sorry. Did I go over this? No, I didn't. I went over it on Instagram. So here are my trades from Friday. Let me make sure you guys can see this correctly. So I have I took an Amazon put early morning. I took a Tesla put at 9:35. I lost $600, and then I came back and won $650 on the next play. Right. So I'm going to explain the Tesla play because I think that's the best little play to sort of walk through here on the live stream. The two Tesla puts, one that I lost on, and one that I won on. And the win outweighed the loser. And I'll show you why I lost on the first one. The play was the exact same. I stayed confident in what I was looking at, right? I stayed confident in the play that I was trying to catch here on Tesla. Even though I lost on it, I kept my head and I said, this is still setting up really well, and I still want to play this rejection. So I lost 600, won 600. My day was about $408. And you guys can see here on the right side, I had one red day on Tuesday, and then so far it's been really good. So Tesla, 935, 936. I took the 910 puts. I lost 600 on one and won 650 on the next. Why did I take that play? I'll show you right now. So if we go to the 5-minute chart on Tesla, the reason I took that play is right here, guys. And it is exactly for the reason of the 915 channel that I have talked about here for some time now, right? So Tesla, let me try to get a better view at this. So here you go, right? So we were looking at this 915 channel on Tesla, right? And we saw that every single time that we reject, right? Reject, right? Every time we get to that 915, we reject. So if I go to the 1-minute chart, you guys can see early morning, this is the rejection I played right here. This push into 915. I got in the first time here at 935. It pushed against me. I got out. It started to show on the next candle that same rejection. I went ahead and entered back in, and I got the win on this downside move. So the play was right? 400 a day. Nice, man. What an idiot. Some people, man, they're just insane. So 915, really clean rejection. I'm here showing you my trades, and all right, that's it. You're out of here, buddy. All right, anyways. So 915, rejection, and then you guys can see I went ahead and caught that. So just sharing with you my trades, being transparent as possible. I know some people are just not appreciative of things. Just always want to be transparent with you guys. So that was my day. Let's go ahead and review what you guys want to look at. Let's go ahead and look at Visa. That's what we got. Visa. So Visa, really nice rejection here around this 220 level, right? You guys can see right here, rejection, rejection, and then look at these rejections right here, right? Rejection, rejection, rejection. So you guys can see all these rejections here at 220, and you can see that we went ahead and rejected it again, Visa, on 220. So I would look for Visa downside personally off this rejection. That's what I would look for. Very clear. Boom, 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 boom. Rejection, 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 rejection. And I would look for maybe that sort of that gap fill off earnings. You guys can see it right here. Gap fill on earnings. So Visa, that's what I would look for. AMD. Yeah, AMD is like Nvidia, man. It's a tough play. It's a tough reason. I can't really see upside on it. So I would look for, it's the same thing as Nvidia. Look for the breakdown of 85. That's what I would look for. Or 84, 85. I would look for the breakdown of that. I just don't, you could see this, right? This is totally possible. The better play is to wait for this rejection on AMD right here. Wait for the bounce and the rejection here around 100. That's what I would look for. But, you got to be careful, right? You got to be careful of this 84 breakdown. If that 84 breaks down, you have some pretty far downside to come, around 75. So watch 84, 85. If you do get a bounce, you could probably get towards that 100. But that would be another place to play a rejection, in my opinion. Okay, Microsoft. Yeah, look at that. So Microsoft, right off that 290, right off those earnings highs. If we go to the hourly chart, you guys can see we pushed into 290 off earnings, and just look at how we rejected right off of it. So very clear. You just need to play this channel. If you see this up here, I would play rejections. Yeah, AMD has earnings, right? So I'd probably stay away. If you see a support down here, maybe you play upside in this channel, right? So I would just play the channel on Microsoft. If you see it break down, turn this into resistance, then you probably have weakness, right? So just watch out for this channel. I would not trade it within the channel. I would trade the outer bands of it. I'd play rejections, or I'd maybe try to play support holds. But I think the rejections are more lucrative as of right now. ZQ, yeah, we already looked at that, Dad G, whatever your name is there. We already looked at this. The ZQ is pricing in a double rate hike. SDC, yeah, sorry, man. Smile Direct Club. Yeah, good luck. That's what I'll say. You put SDC for earnings, may the odds be forever in your favor. That is what I will tell you. I have nothing for you here. Sorry, that's just not what I look at on this channel. Dow, DOW, rejecting 71. Very clear rejection. Boom and boom. You have to hold 65. Yeah, I'll do Upstart. You have to hold 65 on Dow. If you don't hold 65, you're coming back down to 61. Upstart. Upstart, it's holding on for dear life here. It has earnings coming up, so I don't know how to pronounce your name, but I would wait for earnings to pass. Yeah, I would not touch this until earnings passes. Then you know what happens, right? Wait for it to show you what it's going to do on earnings. Wait for it to show you what it's going to do on earnings, and then you play it. I do not play things into earnings. So I personally, if you come here for my opinion, I would say wait for earnings and then play the continuation. All right, I saw someone wanted to go over the Amazon trade. We can do that real quick. So I got in at, here's my Amazon trade. I should have held longer. It was a great trade, and I told the chat, I said, I'm going to regret selling this, but I just want to take my W here. So let's just go over the Amazon trade real quick. This was an awesome trade. So got about 91% on this trade, which is sick. Really nice percent win. Very happy with the setup. Obviously could have got into more, but this was just a small end of day play sort of. So, or end of my trading day, not end of day. So Amazon, right, was rejecting here around 943, and we got this beautiful breakdown. I mean, literally right after our entry, we got that breakdown. This was all traded live in the voice chat in the Discord, so congrats if anyone caught this with me. Perfect breakdown, and I'll show you guys exactly why. I took that play. This came down to the 9 EMA, which Amazon was rejecting all day on Friday. All day, which is just insanity. I mean, if we go back to the 1 minute chart here, let me get this set up for you. So the blue line that you guys see on your chart is the 9 EMA. This is the 9 EMA, this blue line right here that's highlighted. And it's just so strong during a trending market. I mean, look at this end of day slip on Amazon. Look at how every time it popped into the 9, it rejected. Boom, entry. Entry on puts, right? Here is the first time it went over, and then that's it for the day, right? So push into the 9, 5 minute 9, rejection, rejection, rejection. You break over it, out of the trade, right? Back under, rejection, 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 right? So the 9 EMA is just powerful during trending days. Here's where I got into my play. It's right here, guys, right? So we got the push, we got the rejection. I saw these candles. Look at all those wick candles on Amazon right there. Nasty wick candles. I got in my puts at 943 for $2.14. 943 is right. Let me get this out of the way. 943 is right here. So right there, I got in. Right at 943. And I got out at 948, which is right here. So you just caught this move right here. Very nice with 0 DTE, about 91%. Awesome trade. All right, really nice trade. And that was really it for me. So, nice stuff. Hopefully this helps, guys. Again, let's go over the NASDAQ real quick. Let's leave here with a good little idea of what's going on. It is extremely clear. Look at what's happening right now. You are rejecting Friday's lows perfectly. So, if we do not see a break over 12.8 here, guys, we are going to move lower. If we do not see a break of 41.20 on the ES, we are going to move lower. These are Friday's lows, and we are turning Friday's lows into resistance. There is nothing bullish about saying that you are turning Friday's lows into resistance. So, if we break down off Friday's lows right here, early morning, we are going to see downside today. If we get a pop over, you can maybe look for this next level here around 41.60 on ES, and you can maybe look for the next level on the NASDAQ, which is 13,000. So that is what I will leave you with today. I hope this helps your trades. You should structure your trades around these futures levels. You should not get into Amazon calls or Apple calls or Tesla calls if the NASDAQ is rejecting 12.8. There is absolutely no reason to be doing that. So you have to trade around key levels on the futures market. You have to make sure you're structuring your trades over what the overall market is doing. You have to be watching these levels, and I will continue to reiterate this every single day because it gives you so much clarity in your trades. I'm on the voice chat, in the Discord chat, and I'm saying, okay, I'm not taking anything to the upside. NASDAQ still rejecting 12.8. NASDAQ still rejecting 12.8, right? It's easy. You keep it very structured in your mind. If I start to see the rejection come in, okay, I'm ready for downside. I see the rejection coming in, right, on the NASDAQ. So use the futures to structure your trades. Let the levels judge your sentiment, right? That is what I would be looking for. And I'm sorry for being bearish here, guys. I'm typically a very bullish person, but we have to look at what the market's doing. I hate to be bearish. I really like to be bullish, but we have to understand what the market's showing us, and it's showing us rejection. So that's what we have to look at. Unfortunately, I wish we could be looking at higher highs and higher lows. I really do. So press that like button, guys, if you could, before you head out. Subscribe to the channel. If you enjoy the live stream, subscribe. Help me get to 50K. And we'll see you guys here tomorrow. Have a great day. See you later.